Hello everyone, I'm Silent Death, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program Science Harder Campaign. Today, we are starting off with an oldie but a goodie. The Sat Lifter is heading off to rescue or retrieve Jebediah from the moon station in orbit of Kerbal. This is a plane we used a while ago, if you don't recall, which you may not because I didn't. It was, as the name implies, designed to lift satellites for satellite contracts around the Kerbal area. Been a while since we used it. We've retrofitted it with some more fuel so it will have more orbital performance and a few other things. It's very maneuverable compared to the Pelican that we have been flying. You can see it just kind of zooming off the runway and wobbling all over the place, even with pilot assist enabled. I'm not sure if we're going to have enough fuel to do what I need. I didn't actually calculate Kerbal Engineer's thing. It says we have right now about 2,000 Delta V, which should go up as we get higher. Hopefully that'll be enough. We'll have to wait and see. There is a fuel tank instead of a satellite in the cargo bay, which should help even more. And I don't even know if we're going to have time for a rendezvous. We may have to abandon this guy in orbit. I've stuck in a whole bunch of extra life support in case that happens. We do have the Duna comsat arriving at Duna in a mere 3 hours, which should be interesting, our first interplanetary trip. Of course, the dynamic Duna is still quite a ways away, but it's coming. Now let's fast forward this a little bit and see how this works out. Alright, we're approaching the moon base here in a moment. Push our little retrograde marker to the target retrograde that we're actually closing. And now if we can possibly find it. Alright, there it is. What's our closest approach now? 400 meters. That's pretty good. Go that way. Get a little bit closer, but we'll wait for this. We might want to go prograde, I think. We don't want to slow down our closing rate. That's in a couple minutes. Plenty of time. I'm ignoring the science right now. Once we get the gravioli detector, we can come up here and do all those. Get the little bit. Actually, we might need a little bit more science. I don't know how much that is. It's a little bit late for right now. Just all over the place, aren't you? Hold right there. Now then, come over. Further. $400, 300, 2. $100. Okay, Jeb should be able to make that. We'll lock this on retrograde. Go ahead and just add an alarm and make it warp. Power. Fix now that we're flopped over. And we should be within 10 seconds of our closest approach. Right about now we'll start slowing ourselves down. Alright, Jeb, anyone should be able to do that. That is an easy jump. Swap over. Make sure SAS is on and then we'll hop out. There it is. Okay, must have lost SAS control. Hold RCS2. That should help out. Here comes Jeb. He probably wants to drive. Scooch over, Rungar. Jeb is here. Pretty sedate crossing. Hey, look, there's an EVA report. Why don't we go ahead and grab that? Deserts. Come on. Oh yeah, we already have an EVA report. Right. Can't do 2. Hurry up, Jeb. Grab 2 of them. Oh, where the ladders are on this thing. I think they're like really hard to get to. Might be on the other side. Let me in. Keep the data. There we go. Excellent. Now then, we want to do a rendezvous with the EVA comsats. We still have plenty of fuel for that. Shouldn't be a big deal. Jebediah and Rungar are set up to intercept the EVSATs in a little bit over a day. We are now looking at the Duna short-range satellite network. I think these all might be for Duna. Comsats. Yes, they would all be for Duna because we don't need short-range comsats for Ike. There's no atmosphere. One's lost a couple of panels. Must have lost them when we launched it out of the space plane. Now we need to figure out how this little signal delay works so that we can set up the antennas and stuff to close when we enter the atmosphere and then open when we leave it. And we also need to make sure that we don't, rip off the solar panels and little things like that. Let's try. I have no idea what the action group commands are, so backspace is apparently, or abort is apparently that. That'll make things easier. Now then, what if we set this to 30 seconds? And then we do this. Okay, I think that works like we want it. Now, what if I, for instance, shrink the antennas? There we go. Deactivate. And then what if I immediately abort again? Because I think these are grouped in with the abort command, but only to extend and not to toggle. There goes that. Okay, there goes that. And then they should all pop out. Yeah, okay, that part works. Now then, this part is going to be a little bit tricky. Click on the dynamic Duna. You are not the right thing. You are activated to Kerbal. Are targeted at another vessel. You're targeted at the inner system satellite. And you're targeted at Eve and Gilly satellites. So we can probably go ahead and deactivate you. And we'll set this to 0. Okay. Now then we'll fast forward until the thing. Now that we've officially arrived at Duna, let's see what trajectory says about our little orbit. That isn't terrible. Of course, it has us landing at the second time, which also is not great. I think, let's see, radial inwards would be good. What if we did that? Let's add a node somewhere around in here. I had one. There we are. And now that we messed it up. Okay, let's just put a maneuver node. And now things are just all over the place. We might want to wait a little bit. Let's leave it like that for now. Okay, when is... because it's just going all over the place. We're going to, I say, warp to here, I think. Which is after the other stuff. So we'll come back to this. We'll be going to look at the base contract, leaving Minimus, and then back to the sat lifter. There are our satellites. We're going to close a little bit, I think. Want to get nice and close. Okay, so prograde markers should be over this way. Another sciencey thing. There we are. And then quickly switch to retrograde before we run out of power. What's your closest approach right now? 41 meters? Okay, that's pretty good. Didn't want to crash into it though. Come on, hurry, get around. And we'll do this. Crap, it lost the target. No, 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 don't do that. Don't do it. All over the place now. Maybe I should switch to fine control so that doesn't flop over. Okay, now we're closing into 100 meters. And I think maybe now we'll have enough time to turn around. Roll a little bit so we can stay in the sunlight. And do that. More. Wrong way. There we go. Okay, I'm done with Hue Alarm Clock. We'll open the cargo bay doors. Hang in there. We'll probably use RCS to stop us. Still going to be a little bit of a pain this far apart. I'll actually speed things up. Alright, I think that's probably as good as we want. To go that way. Eight, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Turn off that. Hold what you got. And just hang out there. Now then, Rongar, you're going to pop out. And you apparently have no electric charge. Because you have electric charge in yourself? I don't... That works. Hopefully that doesn't do anything bad. What do you say? I think you have at least an hour, so it shouldn't be a problem. Now then, we have a bunch of little antennas around here. So we're going to try to click on one, which is always a challenge. Especially when we're bouncing around the cargo bay. Then we'll grab one. And we'll come over here to where these nifty satellites are. And try not to slam into any of these solar panels, which apparently I forgot to put in some action groups. That's going to make things interesting. Now we just need to find somewhere to slam this. Really anywhere will do, as long as it's safe and out of the way. So I'm thinking like right in there. Attach. And that appears to have worked. So we need to do that for all of these satellites. I think it's those three and maybe the three down here too. And I brought 8 antennas, I think. So that should be enough. We hope. And I think we can fast forward through this a little bit. We might want to stop and recharge our power situation. Maybe move a little bit closer with RCS. We could do that. Okay, first we'll hop back inside. Or try to. Grab. Board. Okay, you're in the sunlight. I don't know why you don't have any power. So what if we roll you a little bit? A little bit more. We're starting to get some power soon. Maybe it's the base that needs the power, or the light. That's what it looks like. And there you go. Perfect. Now then, we're going to chew this way since we're moving apart. Make sure you keep that power facing. I'm actually going to turn off this SAS because it's a little bit overpowered. And it's taking up all of our power. So, RCS. Boost us. Now then, target the target. And we'll just try to close the distance while we're working on this. And I'll fast forward through the rest. Getting the antennas is a little bit fiddly. I plan on using Kerbal inventory system when we update to 1.0.4. I'm not sure if that'll make this easier or not, because I quite frankly have no idea how Kerbal inventory system works. But it seemed like a good idea, and I heard some other people talking about it on other videos. So maybe that will change things. I don't know. I guess we'll figure out how that works when we update, which we will do once our dress probes get done. Though thankfully this little guy has not smashed any solar panels. Really good job. And we didn't need those extra antennas we brought. Okay, things are kind of wobbling all over the place. I think this is probably as close as we're going to get because it was bouncing like that. So, how long until we hit the atmosphere? Target distance is set to the edge of the atmosphere. Add. So that's only 16 minutes and change. We're going to set our thingamaduper delay to 15 minutes. Add that. Then we're going to close you first. There we go. Then we'll have to go through and do each one of these little antennas. That's not what we want. Activate. Deactivate. Deactivate. Oh wait, we can't do that because we're doing this wrong. We have to do yeah, we have to cancel all these first. We need to do that. Retract the solar panel action group. Now then deactivate. Deactivate. So that should be 1, 2, 5. Alright. Now we need to find out how long until we're through the atmosphere. Which should be, say, we'll go this far. Add maneuver node. Looks like 20 minutes. 18 minutes. We'll go with 20 minutes. Hopefully we have enough power to do that. So we will set the signal delay. First thing we're going to do is turn on the solar panels. Then activate that. And we're going to activate this other one. Because I don't think that one's right. Okay, that should have us where we need. I can't use this to hold prograde because if I try... Delay to 0. It does this little crap. Which is not good. I can't even use it to kill rotation. Only this works. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. And we'll see how this works. Let's go ahead and quick save. It seems like a good idea to do. Okay, it's a good thing I saved because I screwed up. 13 minutes. We'll set that. We'll wait for that to go. I have this to change name tag, and that is not what I want. I want it to be deactivate. There we go. Let's save again. Stupid misclicking. Okay, everything else is done. Okay, here we go. Make sure you're going surface thing. There we go. Fast forward. Getting really close. Throttling back to warp, but there goes that. Oh yeah, I wanted to turn on flame effects. Just for this part. There we go. Solar panels should click on here in a moment. Couple moments. What's our altitude at? Okay, we still got a few kilometers. We still got more than a minute. There goes the solar panels. Then these should start popping down. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hopefully you are not holding surface. Okay, this is not good. This is really not good. I don't know how to do that except for turning off RemoteTech. I wish there was a way to make SAS work. I don't know why they disabled it. Doesn't make sense to me. I guess because you could do it instantly, but they put the delay on the other clicks. Surely they can put a delay here too. This could be really bad. We could actually burn up in the atmosphere. We could go back and try the little thing. No, I don't think that would work. So yeah, I'm not sure how we're going to do this. Okay, we're at the edge of the atmosphere. Hopefully it points us in the right direction. We're not really aerodynamically shaped. But hopefully we don't flip over. I guess we could flip over. That would hold us. Got all kinds of science. I don't know if I could do this. Let's see. If I... 0. I can in fact do a temperature scan. Probably because this bypasses things. I'm not going to. We'll save that for later. What does that say, by the way? In space near Duna? You might actually transmit that. We'll keep that data. Transmit it. That'll get us some money or something. Okay, I wish I knew what the atmospheric pressure was. I don't. It's probably somewhere around in here. Okay, we're facing backwards. Kind of. At least our temperature is still quite low, even though we're getting pretty low. So yeah, we should be fine on the heat thing. Should be. The other vessels are going to be a problem though. Maybe they'll work with this. Might just be that we have multiple probe cores. Okay, things are starting to heat up. Still pretty cool. What is our apoapsis? Okay, we're still on escape. There we are falling. Hopefully this whopping around doesn't mess things up. You might could have left the antenna out if it's not heating us up this much. Would have been risky, but we could have done it. Guess we can get rid of that. Oh wait, that was our marker. Oh well. There's Ike. Tumbling through the atmosphere. Uh-oh. We are going to crash into the planet? No? Oh, that's... There's our apoapsis. Still going in for an Ike. That would actually have been a pretty good Ike thing. Altitude is at 15 kilometers and climbing. You are just not aerodynamically sound at all. Closing, closing. Come on. I think we're going to be okay. Little bit close. I think I missed something there. I probably clicked it away. We are over Highlands. I think we can fast forward a bit now. $600. How much delta V do we have in this stage? 300-ish? Fair amount. I don't know what altitude we need to shoot for. And then let's hope that our signal stuff toggles back on. I'm pretty sure we won't need to go that low in the atmosphere again. So this should not matter. There goes our antennas. Still no connection. Still no connection. It must be occluded by the planet. Which way is Kerbin? Okay, yeah, we're going to be occluded. We'll be fine once we get a little bit further out. Let's go ahead and fast forward a bit for that. So we get a signal. Should be coming out around from behind it. We have no power, or we're getting low on power. That's right there. Okay, we have a signal, but we're low on power. So we're going to shut off one of these. Deactivate. We should be fine once we get around the front. And no power. Still no power? There we go. Okay, now then I need to figure out how we're going to space these. We're going to shoot for an orbital period of 50 minutes, which is 89.566 kilometer orbit. So we'll need to bump this up. We can probably let it orbit for a few times if we really need to. We shouldn't really need to save this fuel, but I'm going to be a little bit picky. 35 kilometers. What about right about there? Give it a minute. Okay, so on the second pass, that looks pretty good. I would rather do it on the first pass, but I think doing it on the second pass is fine. We can tweak things a little bit more with a safety margin like that. We'll go for this. Now then, we do need to do a test of our communication networks to make sure that a satellite pointed at Duna and one pointed at Kerbal can talk to each other. So we're going to... we might already have that set up. Nope, we have... Where are you? I can click you. Going to activate a Kerbal satellite. And then we'll hop over to the inner system satellite, which is what we have everything pointed to. Right now we're using a direct connection. We're having to use a direct connection because it was outside of the range. So we already have somebody pointing at Duna. And let's click on this. Say, shrink that. If you're pointed at Duna, you cover a 10.8 million meter beam. Covers one target, so that should have us connected. And I think that's inside of the orbit of AGExt too. Nope. Apparently not. Well, AGExt's supposed to beam to these guys and point back. Okay, let's hop back to our probe. Okay, we got 85.4 kilometer aerobrake apoapsis, which is pretty damn close to the 89.566 kilometer thing, especially for multiple pass aerobrake. That's pretty damn impressive, if I do say so myself. Now what we're going to do is we're going to circularize our orbit to our desired orbital period, which I think we need another Kerbal engineer thing. Inclination eccentric, time to node, orbital period, there it is. Now I want to get this as close to 15 minutes as possible. And if you have not seen how I do this, or you don't remember, first we're going to get our orbital period stabilized. And I'm just doing that part because we're going to be out of communication range at these 2 points, or well, really shortly after these 2 points. So we want to make sure that all of our maneuver changes are going to happen somewhere like right around here, where we're going to have good communication connections. because we don't want to lose connection in the middle of trying to place our satellites. Once we do that, we'll have an orbital period of 50 minutes, and we have 5 satellites. So we'll change our apoapsis up to a 60-minute orbit while keeping our periapsis at our desired 89.566 kilometers. Then every time we orbit, we'll drop off one of the satellites and have it circularize its orbit to a 50-minute orbit. And that way they'll be evenly spaced all the way around without us having to do any kind of weird angling math or stuff. While we wait on our satellites, our inner system comsat, to get to where it needs to go, we have a T90.3 meters per second burn. More of a blow, really. To execute with this, which gives our periapsis a little bit closer to Duna. I don't know if we can do better. Let's go ahead and close that. 5, 7, 4, 5, 11, 2, 4, 8. Get right in there. Went back up. So right around there. Remember what keys are for burning the other direction. Not that one. Not that one either. 38, 170, getting in there. 50, 30, 30. This one actually works with the flight computer because it only has one little thing. 19 is about where we want, I think. We're going to turn off RCS, and you will have an encounter in... You don't really know because you're bouncing all over the place. Looks like 64 days. It's the last guy to arrive, which is kind of good because we don't really need to refuel anything until the other stuff gets there. Moving right along, we're going to check our inner system satellite and then perform the maneuver here in a moment. If you'll recall, the beam range of our satellites from Duna was 10 million meters. So we're dropping our apoapsis of our inner system satellite at Kerbal down to just under 5 million meters, as the beam was not hitting it with its apoapsis way up at 50 million meters. And we're not doing exactly 5 because we have to take into account Kerbin's radius, which is 600 kilometers. And now we're going to go to our short-range satellites and fast forward really fast at 16 times. Having a bit of an issue right there because Ike had eclipsed the sun and caused us to miss the first satellite launch, so we'll have to go around an extra time. And we're just speeding up to a 60-minute orbit, ejecting a satellite every orbit, and then slowing back down, or slowing the ejected satellite back down to a 50-minute orbit. And we do this over and over again. We're using the flight computer to kind of control when we do the staging. We put a maneuver node at our periapsis, and then tell the flight computer to execute a set maneuver node, so we get the delay to the maneuver node without actually having to type it in, or, you know, read the delay at the top of the screen, which we could do, but I'm lazy. We do that, and then we manually order the node to decouple when we have set the delay, so it decouples right before we get to the maneuver node. And the satellite can then be adjusted right as it hits its periapsis. Now that that is done, I wanted to check the contracts, see if we got anything new for Duna. We got temperature scans of Duna, but it's only a 1 star, so I'm not going to worry about that. Science from space around Duna, I think we'll pick that up. RemoteTech for Eve, RemoteTech for Ike. That sounds like a good idea. Go ahead and pick that up. I think we're going to go ahead and get Eve and Gilly, since they're just there. We're already going to Eve and to Gilly, so we might as well do it. That means we're probably going to have to go to Moho, so that before our guys get to Ike. Oh, and this reminds me, communication network for Duna is up and running. We have the coverage, so we just need to wait for a week. Let's see if we can't do that before anything else happens. Looks like we don't have anything for 18 days, so plenty of time to fast forward. And there was that. 787.5 thousand Kerbal bucks. Up to 688. 6,889,000 Kerbal bucks. That is a lot of money. We now have enough to upgrade this. And I'm not sure if I want to do that or not. Let's see, what would we pick up before we have to launch anything else? Dynamic Duna is not going to arrive for 40 days. Moho is in 76 days. So theoretically, we should be able to pick up this. It's 100K. We'll finish our sun station, which is another 160K. We'll finish this Ike thing, maybe. That would be enough if we finish that. Yeah, for Duna, how much is that? Not a whole lot, 70K. I think we add those two together. Should have actually done a couple of these on Duna transmit. Oh, this is about to expire. Oh no, that'll mean we don't have our rocket thing anymore. How much does that take to research? I think we actually are going to go ahead and buy it. Upgrade. Okay, I managed to upgrade, thankfully. I think we still have enough to go to Moho. Now then, we're going to want to go towards this for 525 science. I think that might be the only thing that we were waiting on. nuclear stuff, we are just way far away from that. So I don't know what we're going to do without the nuclear engines. Obviously, we're going to have to launch some stuff to Moho soon. And then make do. Get some more science going. Probably from Duna. Yep, I don't see anything else immediately. We do want this and the one after it soon. But the gravioli thing is going to be first because it tastes delicious. I think I might have some ravioli for lunch. Now that I think about it, that sounds like a good idea. Alright, that is going to be it for this episode. Next episode, we'll be launching some missions off to Eve, probably. Well, definitely. So, like if you like, subscribe if you're not. Leave a comment if you have anything to say. I do read all the comments. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.